I'm standing on a platform right now that seems like the best seat in the house. I got a really nice view of the entire track. That progress has started and will continue. Crews have been out since the crack of dawn working to repair this bridge, and as you can see behind me, they're still here as we speak. He said the fire started in the kitchen, and that fire worked its way through the walls up to the second floor. Now, luckily, when they got to the scene, everyone had already been evacuated. No injuries were reported. Spoke with a road informant with the Randolph County Road Department, and he suggests anyone who lives on low ground to pack your bags and relocate to a safe place as soon as possible. This 2,100 square foot rink will be filled with many people of different ages practicing their ice skating skills. Now, of course, what I'm standing on is not ice, it's synthetic ice, but during the season they'll have Christmas music, lights, hot cocoa, and other items that will add to the holiday spirit. Now, I'm going to practice my ice skating skills before tomorrow night, but for right now, live in downtown Jonesboro, Daphne Gray, Region 8 News.
I got to see this.
There she goes. She's been practicing for like 45 minutes, y'all.
She went out there early so that she could practice.
In Arkansas news now, after going missing 67 years ago in the Korean War, one Arkansas family was able to welcome their loved one home. Before last night, this dance area that I'm standing on was surrounded by walls, but as you can see today, that is a different story. Now behind me, you will see a memorial has been set up where many in the community have just stopped by to pay their last respects to Bob Dylan and Anthony Tramble. A Blyville family will remember the life of a 10-year-old girl who they say died a hero earlier this month. Kirsten May sat down with the little girl's mother today to find out more about her. Kirsten. Earlier today, I visited the Cross County Road Department and stood by a mountain of gravel and sand on top of more sand on top of more sand. So they're definitely prepared for whatever's to come their way. In 2016, there were 42 people shot and killed in Little Rock alone. Community members are hoping for change. These glass doors had to be replaced today, and also damaged were a couple of medicine cabinets inside. Now, I got this big, nice Barton's umbrella for a shield, for just in case that particular bird we're talking about decides to get a little protective while I'm out here. But that bird has been seen flying from the trees, swooping down and attacking residents. Yeah, Rachel, I was joking about it last week, but it looks like I'm gonna have to pull out that Walmart sack anyways, just in case.
Sack and umbrella. That's
yeah,
also,
well,
you know,
you could go
maybe
to
a
umbrella.
rain jacket or a
Definitely.
Walmart sack.
Go the other route. All right, Rachel, thank you. And as we celebrate the 4th today, a mystery is brewing in Washington, D.C. The city council is trying to find a replica of the Liberty Bell lost over 2 decades ago. One mother celebrated Mother's Day with a broken heart after her son received 2 of the shots that rang out Sunday morning at the basement. It was something Tylisha and Alfred Barnes never expected.
It's one thing to lose your child due to sickness or illness, but to have him taken away from you, it's totally different.
The emotions they're feeling?
It hurts so bad.
Their son, Montario Barnes, gunned down early Sunday morning, a young man who many say was good all around.
Very, very fun, loving. He was a jokester, always smiling, always smiling.
The day before, normal for the Barnes family. Monty helped his mother tend to her foster children.
He and the girls, they took some pictures in the phone where they were just joking around. They stayed in his room. They loved going in Montario's room. But he was here with me all day that day.
He then went to the mall in search of an outfit for an event that night at the basement. Before he left, he stopped by home one last time.
Talking about his clothes, we were standing there in the hallway, and I was talking about how skinny he had gotten, and but that he looked nice. He looked nice.
A final farewell.
Every time he left this door, I would say to him, "Monty, be careful. Be careful." He looked back at me, gave me that $1 million smile, and said, "Ma, you already know."
The last time she'd hear his voice.
Oh my God, this is hard. This is hard.
Within an hour, she'd heard her son had been killed, something Tylisha and Alfred prayed were rumors. But later that morning.
And that's when they sat me down and confirmed what had happened at the basement.
The rumors became reality.
My son was taken straight from the basement to the morgue and then to Little Rock. So I have yet to see my son.
Days later, they found their son had been shot twice, once in the leg and once in the chest.
To hear about all of these different things and how he laid there on that floor by himself.
Yeah.
It's pretty awful. It's pretty awful, and it's hard for a mother to imagine her child being there by himself.
A situation she wouldn't wish on her worst enemy.
It's just no mother should have to bury their child, especially not and get news like that on Mother's Day.
And though they're hurting, she knows they are not the only ones.
The mothers of the suspects, they've lost their child as well. Only thing is they can go visit theirs. We can't go visit ours and be able to see his face and touch his, hug him. We can't do that.
Though the Barnes have received love and support from the community, she says it's still heart-wrenching to think about.
And it makes you feel so empty to where you want to know, what could I have done differently to prevent this from happening? Could I just told him not to go?
Despite her questions, she knows it was God's will to take her son Sunday morning.
No matter had he gone or not, something else would have happened to take him away from me, but it should not have been from a gun and behind the hands of another young man. That should never have happened.
And she knows it will continue to happen until today's youth puts the guns down.
I don't think that nothing anybody can do right now can make me feel better other than to stop this foolishness.
And though she's hurting, to get through the pain, she tells herself what she often told Monty.
Continue to smile. Continue to smile and be the good young man that you are. Just keep your dignity. You're a humanitarian. Hold your head up and keep your shoulders back.
Love God.
And love God first and foremost.
And trust in God.
He'll never forsake you or direct you in the wrong path. Never.
Also that night, Monty's class ring went missing. His mother says if you have seen it or know where it is, could you return it to her as soon as possible? With that, she also wants to add that their family is beyond grateful for the amount of love that they've received from the community. Live in the studio, Jaffney Gray, Region 8 News. Faith and her identical twin sister Hope were born prematurely at 22 weeks. Hope weighing 1 pound even and Faith 1.4 ounces. But size is not the only difference between them, as Faith has spent her entire life fighting to take her first steps.
I used my crutches a long time.
But before crutches, it was a walker, and before a walker, it was a wheelchair. Faith and Hope suffered from twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, which would ultimately take away Faith's ability to walk. With a long list of medical problems, including Faith being diagnosed with cerebral palsy, doctors saw no chance of living for the twins.
We were told they wouldn't survive. They did. Prayer and everything. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. So yeah, miracles can happen.
Now at the age of 6 and after years of occupational and physical therapy, Faith is walking for the first time in her life.
She has always been a trooper.
And with a spirited personality that keeps everyone entertained.
She'll put you in your place.
Y'all stay in room 5, okay, y'all?
Okay, they'll stay.
She is a true fighter.
Andrea Brown has been Faith's occupational therapist since day one. She says she looks at Faith as her own child.
If there's one thing that is truly inspiring about her, she doesn't give up.
Faith can now get around and do things many thought she could never do, but the main thing she is most proud about is reaching her goal to be taller.
Now that I'm tall, I can stand up and move as fast as I can.
It is something her grandmother is very thankful for.
They've been through, a lot. But, we're lucky they're here. And we have God to thank for that.
And as Faith continues her footsteps to healing, she has a piece of advice for everyone.
Never give up.
Now, both Faith and Hope are still dealing with certain medical issues, but thanks to the love, help, and support from the Miracle Kids Success Academy, they're the strong little women they are today. Reporting in the studio, Japhanie Gray, Region 8 News.
This past weekend, a fire destroyed a home in Wiener, but thanks to one four-legged animal, the family made it out alive.
Japhanie Gray joins us now with this uniquely heroic story. Japhanie.
Craig Allison, a very unique story. Now, this particular four-legged animal happens to be a white dwarf goat. That goat now wears an S on his chest, and it's not because his name is Speedy. Like any parent,
I didn't like the goat.
Nick Bruce wasn't excited about another mouth to feed.
Didn't care nothing about the goat.
Speedy was an unexpected birthday present for his daughter, Abigail.
I like that little goat.
And the timing of the newest addition to the Bruce family couldn't have come at a better time.
The goat was waking me up.
Late Saturday night, just days after Abby got Speedy.
It was like bouncing on me and screaming.
Speedy the goat turned into Speedy the superhero.
I heard the windows busting, and then I seen fire outside.
Abby come running in the bedroom and said that it was smoky and she couldn't hardly breathe.
I thought it was hailing.
That hail was the crackling from the flames.
You could see the fire coming around the outside of the windows.
Bruce eventually got his family out safe, but had it not been for Speedy, it could have been a different story.
I'm just glad that we got it before the fire happened, or we wouldn't be here.
It gets heavy on you, it pulls your heartstrings. But I mean, it could have been worse.
And while he didn't care for Speedy at first, he feels differently about his daughter's gift now.
Oh, we're good now. He ain't going nowhere.
Something the entire family agrees on.
I think he means a lot right now. Well, not just right now, but forever.
Now, right now, the Jonesboro Fire Department and several people across Region 8 are taking in donations to help the Bruce family get back on their feet, something the family says they are extremely thankful for. Live in the studio, Japhanie Gray, Region 8 News.